What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Yo Matt, where I pick my favorite question from the week and I answer it here. Let's go! All right, guys, so the question this week comes from my man Riley, and Riley says, Matt, how long does it take to train a VA to do and take on the acquisition role? I love this question. I think this is so important because it's definitely direction most of you guys want to take your business. You probably watched some of my videos. You've already, contextually, I can see where this question is going, and it's the direction your business should be heading as well. You have to start leveraging your time. Maybe right now you're the person doing the acquisition. Maybe right now your business partner's doing the acquisition, because that's what brings in revenue to your business, right? That's so important. You got to get contracts. But what's the next level? The next level is getting someone to help you do that. And what's one of the best ways to do it? Is get a virtual assistant to take that off your plate, right? I mean, you see, we're actually out right now, we're driving, we're looking at some ugly houses. We actually just left an appointment. I still love doing it to some degree, but I would say 95% of our acquisition is done by virtual assistants. So here's the framework, Riley. The first thing you do is you start by hiring virtual assistants that can take care of the base level, can bring in opportunities, right? That's your cold callers, that's your texters, that's someone at the admin level. But what's gonna happen is someone from that group, maybe you hire 5 or 6 people till you get to the point where you have so many leads, someone from that group's gonna stand out. They have the emotional intelligence to talk to a seller, and they also understand how the business makes money. So the first little bridge that they make is going into the lead managing role, right? They're just furthering the conversation. They're not negotiating, they're not dropping prices, they're not explaining, how title, escrow, all these things work. They're just furthering the conversation and getting repetitions, right? You want to put them in a place, in a lead managing role, where they're following up with your leads, they're staying on top of them, and they're setting you up, or your business partner, whoever's doing your acquisition, they're setting you up, right? But that conversation ends with them saying, okay, Mr. Seller, that sounds great. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna submit this to our underwriting department, and I'm gonna set you up with one of our acquisition specialists, blank, right? That's where their call ends. Now, the next level is they're gonna get repetitions. You're putting them in low leverage situations where the pressure is minimal, right? They can get the experience, which is super huge, right? But then it's very natural. They get good in lead managing. This may take a month. This may take 2 months. I'm hesitant to give you a time frame because I've had VAs that have been with me for a year and they're not the right fit for lead managing. But I've had VAs that have been with me for less than a month, and I can tell from their communication and their emotional intelligence, they're the right fit for a lead manager, so that's what we do. I put them in that role. So I think timetable is a little gray area, right? It changes depending on the VA. So with some of these folks, just understand that you may be a longer experience between lead managing to then become an acquisition, right? They've identified themselves as skilled, they've got the repetitions in lead managing, now they're ready for the next step. And the next step is getting them ready to have actual negotiations, price dropping, explaining the post-sale, how the process works, who your title company is, how you deposit earnest money, all those things is the next step. And that is probably the biggest leap, right? The first thing from cold caller to lead manager, not that big. But getting them ready to be an acquisition person and understanding the sales skills, being more emotionally intelligent, understanding the nuances and language, all those things, it takes some time, but it can certainly be done. We do it, and again, if this isn't you, maybe someone on your team, we always do sales training. It didn't matter if it was a VA or not. If it could be someone local in your market, did you hire, right? It takes a lot of training. But number one, Riley, it can be done. Expect that first step from VA to lead manager to be the shortest. But from lead manager to acquisition, I would probably say roughly, if you did it and you focused on the training, 3 to 6 months, you can have a VA taking over all of your acquisition, other than the appointments that you just didn't want to take. So I hope that helps, Riley. You just got to get started, brother. You got to start delegating these things and start giving them more responsibility. Understand they're going to blow up leads. They're going to mess it up. You are too, just like you did in the beginning, right? They got to get the repetitions and they will get better, but it can be done and you got to get started. So great question this week, Riley. I want you guys to comment on this video what your main takeaway was. Ask some questions and maybe I will feature yours next week. Thank you, guys.